and welcome to the Ghost Hunting TV talk show. And we're currently live. My name is Alicia. I am the founder of Paranormal Magazine, Ghost of Britain YouTube, and Project Reveal Paranormal Investigation website.
My name is Chris Beach. I am a student of parapsychology at the School of Parapsychology, and I'm also an investigator for ghost hunters in East Anglia in the UK.
We are obviously three girls in the dark. My name is Emily. I'm Gina. And I'm Christy. And we basically do exactly what our name says. We sit in the dark, the three of us.
Yeah, I'd echo what you're saying. It's more that we don't acknowledge the way in which that EVP has been captured and presented as evidence for paranormal.
You're talking about ethics, so let me just share this to people. This makes me absolutely sick.
Thank you for having me on.
No problem.
So my name is Sophia Temporelli. I'm 16 years old. I've been a radio host since I was 12 years old on liveparanormal.com. My show is called The Ghost Host, and I've been in the paranormal field since I was 8 years old.
I call myself I tend to, when I came into the field, I thought I had my belief system, solid.
I think, Lee, I've always had an interest in it, to be honest, ever since I was a child. And growing up in this island, this fair green island, certainly there are plenty of things which go up in the night. I think it is very, very important to understand, if you are taking a record, understand what it is. Personally, I'm a great believer in the best piece of equipment that we have is
Gina over here is kind of like a she's borderline. So I like to say she's a flapping screen door. Sometimes things get in, sometimes things get out, sometimes.
Please bear in mind that those facts, if you're investigating, you think you're having a paranormal experience with me, am I on medication? Am I drinking water? Just as a basic, really.
And that in itself, that's my take on possibly why you see, along with the popularization, of course, of the paranormal TV shows, which is in the decline, which is in the sharp decline, I might add.
If there is any spirits here with us right now, you can use the spirit box to communicate with us. When you try and say the guy's name who is hosting this show, can you try and say his name? Can you try and say Lee? Lee. There you go. Did you hear that? Hello and welcome to Ghost of Britain. My name is Lee Steer and we are currently live streaming on Paranormal Magazine, Ghost of Britain, Paranormal Database, Visa, Broadband TV and Get Scared TV. And with me on this episode we have David from, would you like to introduce where you are from, David?
Hi Lee, good evening. I'm from Scotland, Glasgow, and I'm a founding member of Knights Templar Paranormal Order.
Nice. So,
we go around. Yeah, we go around UK investigating and gathering evidence, and we're also there to help out the public. If you need any help, I'm on the internet. I've gave a lot of advice on the internet, and also we do travel to sort of help people with cleanse houses and such.
So what started the team?
Well, the team started is actually on Facebook. I just get talking to one of the team founding members, Ian Ainsley, and he's our demonologist in the team, and we just started from there. The two of us built the team, and then we also added in John, who's a sensitive in the team, and it's the three of us that go along investigating. We've also got others that if we're investigating a bigger place that we'll bring in and add, but mainly the focus is the three of us.
So for you, what got you interested in the paranormal? What sparked your flame?
Well, the first time it sparked me off is when my first ever ghost investigation. I went with an events company with my wife. I was 25 at the time, and my dad had not long passed. So I saw on the Ouija board, he came through on the board, and on EVP at the exact same time. And it was one of the EVPs that was used as one of the, the ones that were about £2,000, the good ones, and it came through, and I was asking questions that only myself would know, that nobody could get any information because it was private stuff, and it came through with the correct answers, and it was an emotional night, and that got me thinking through that, that just sparked it. And since then, I've done hundreds of investigations, UK and Europe.
Nice one. Actually, I wanted to ask you a question based on what you've just said here. Actually, I might be wrong on saying this. So, was it a passing what actually made you go onto a ghost hunt to try and communicate with your father?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
So, when you thought that you made contact, how did you feel?
Yeah, it was such an, it was just a build up of emotion. It was so unreal because the information that was coming through, it was just, it was sort of like mind blowing. I just sparked my curiosity, and I come from a scientific background. I'm a lab analyst. That's what I do as my work trade. And once I'd done that, I started to start questioning everything, and then from there, just everything I do is paranormal. It takes over my full life. My wife sort of, luckily enough, puts up with me, and she comes and she's the camerawoman, so she sort of puts up with me.
That's cool. Yeah. So since you went on a ghost hunt to communicate with your father, do you think a lot of people would be doing the same thing? Do you think that is do you think that's the main cause of why people go to investigate or go to public events?
I think there is quite a high portion of people that go to the public events to sort of, like, if they're maybe trying to get in contact with a loved one. A lot of folk won't say that, but I think that they're hoping that something will happen. But whether they have their experiences, whether they then go on to take it as far as I've done, it's another question, sort of. But it's it's everything paranormal sort of I love. It's great.
So you said that you come from a scientific background. So what do you mean by that?
Well, I've worked in an environmental lab. So through uni, everything I've done, I've got to question everything and debunk. That's the way I do when I go on investigations. I don't just say it's paranormal straight off. I got to debunk everything first, and then I come to the conclusion I can't debunk that. So it's not just paranormal. It's got to be sort of thoroughly debunked.
Yeah. So in your opinion, of course, everyone's entitled to their opinions, and there's no right and wrong in my books. And basically, what is your idea of an investigation?
Would I use sort of from investigating?
Yeah.
Well, I think for best investigations is going with a small team. That's when you get most of your activity. My opinion, I like just going with 3 people, and if I'm cameraing it, just one camera person, and sort of all lights out. Obviously, I like to use a bit of technology and sort of just other stuff. Like, for instance, I quite like Spirit Box.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you get the intelligent answers, I've actually got an EVP that says, "Can you tell me the name of my team?" And on my T-shirt, it's the Spirit Box says Knights Templar Paranormal Order. That's not going to go on the radio, is it?
What? So it's literally said that as a straight sentence.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that was in the pub and this was the Old Crown in Birmingham, the oldest pub in Birmingham, and we got lucky to get in there. Nobody's investigated there, and this was mind blowing.
Everyone who watches this show knows that I am actually a skeptic when it comes to the paranormal, but I'm a respectful one. I listen to people's views, people's opinions, and I respect them because I'm never going to say that I'm right, and I'm never going to say that you're right, and vice versa. So, what's your take on skepticism? Is it welcome?
I think it's welcome. I find it healthy. I mean, I like to have like a skeptic, because when I first started doing it, my wife was sort of like skeptical, and obviously she's had a few experiences. Like, she generally gets touched on investigations. I don't. I've been touched once in 15 years. They don't come near me. Maybe it's because I'm a 6'3" Scotsman, but a rugby player. But yeah, skepticism is healthy. That's good. Yeah, I think you have to have your own personal experience, to know it's there. I would never fly my beliefs on anybody. They have to have their own personal experience.
Yeah, I've only been to Scotland once to investigate, but for you, what is it like finding places there?
Oh yeah, just yeah. I just love sort of searching out places to investigate. Sometimes I go myself. I also like go solo investigate just myself. Because yeah, you get a lot of experience that way. But yeah, Scotland's got a lot of great places. Yeah, but I've covered quite a lot of Scotland, so I'm now working my way down England, and England's got some really good places, I must admit.
Yeah. So if there's teams in Scotland, what kind of things can they investigate? What type of hauntings is there around?
Scotland is. You've got a lot of residual hauntings, and then you've got some sort of active hauntings as well. It's really trying to get the place. It's like, for instance, you've got you've got the Edinburgh Vaults, but I don't particularly like the Vaults because I think it's overdone, and you've got a nightclub next door to it, and you can hear the nightclub. So
exactly. My point exactly. That's what I hate about it because
I don't like that. Yeah.
It's crazy. You pay for a ghost hunt for like I can't remember, but it's like £600 or more now. I really don't know. And then you pay, and then there's a nightclub straight above you, which literally contaminates the entire investigation. But is that there every day? Like is that there Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
That's there. Yeah, it's there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So if you were going to do that, you would be wanting to do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, where you've not got any noise pollution.
Yeah.
But I'm not a lover of the vaults.
I'm not either. I am. So what places in the UK would you like to investigate, what you have not investigated?
I'd love to investigate Chillingham Castle in Northumberlandshire. It's just down by sort of the borders way. That's really also would like to do Margam Castle. It's down Wales. They're two of the places I want to do, and obviously you've got like the Galleries of Justice. I've not done there yet. I'm planning to get that done, but yeah, it's sort of getting the time to do them. At the moment, I'm sort of down round about Birmingham area investigating, and we're also going to do a live event on YouTube on the 5th of December. We're going to do that at Gilmerton Cove. So we're just looking into that. We're just still to contact them and find out about Wi-Fi and such, but I've got a backup plan if that doesn't work out.
Nice one. So, changing subject slightly then, why do you think people see spirits? Is there a reason?
Well, yeah, see, this is a good one, because obviously I've only ever seen one spirit, in 15 years, and that was it was like a shadow spirit going right past me and my wife and 3 other people, just went left to right, quite quick. I'm not a sensitive. I pick up in absolutely nothing, So I think some people are more adjust to see spirit than others.
Yeah. So would you say, because I'm a skeptic, if I go to an investigation and I'm there thinking ghosts don't exist, am I blocking out the possibility that something might happen?
Yeah, my take on it is I like to sort of, for instance, if I'm working with the public, we like to get a good amount of energy built and sort of laughter and a couple of jokes here and there, because they feed off that energy. Now, if somebody's there and like very negative, and this is all rubbish, that kind of, I think personally that kind of affects sort of activity.
Yeah.
I think being a skeptic and being sort of jovial, you're more receptive to sort of getting activity. You need to sort of open yourself up to it.
Yeah. So what's your take on public events, and are they a good thing or a bad thing for the community?
I think they're a good thing, because it gets some people out to go to events they've always wanted to but don't have the means or even the funds, because it's dear to hire out places. But so if they want to just go and experience it just to see what it's like, then it's great. You find a good crew that's professional, and you're fine. They're definitely a good thing.
Yeah, like I do admit myself that I know the reason why teams turn into public event teams, and that's purely because of the venues. They charge an extortionate amount. Like you're looking at something like about £100 to £2,000, or you're probably looking at even more than 2,000 for some structures. And I think it's sick because, you know, the people who want to really go out there and do real research, who want to really take it serious, they are being forced to pay. So hence they've got to open their doors to public. And then it just becomes not an investigation, it becomes babysitting, in my opinion. What do you take on that?
Yeah, you sort of spot on, Lee. Sort of, you've just actually sort of, I was thinking it and you were saying it. Yes, it's a lot of money. It's like, for instance, when I'm looking for like my team, we try and get some round about, we pay up to maybe about like sort of £600-700, you know, to go and hire a place out. It's a lot of money, and then you've got to travel down, you've got to stay down, and because our other two members, they're down in Birmingham. So it really is, it's a lot of money. So you've got to have the money to do it in the first place. Myself, I wouldn't do public events just because that's not the route. We do it as in sort of to try and get proof from the side, but when we go down the public road, it's a lot of, you've got a lot of hassle as well, setting everything up. So, but yeah, it's a lot of money, and you know, these places, some of them ask so much money, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I agree. You know, they charge it so much where it's not possible to really do a proper investigation. Like, I'm thinking, but like, my style of an investigation is to have minimum people and to have cameras watching everything. If you're doing an EVP recording, have a camera watching that EVP recording, and have a camera watching everyone who's around it. So my next question is actually, when you do EVPs, what do you put in place to make sure that you get the right results?
Well, so if I'm doing sort of EVPs, which will be like the spirit box, I'll set the spirit box down. I'll ask the spirits to sort of come in, I'll ask the questions, but I've also got a full spectrum camcorder taping it as well. So if I can, even if I pick anything up in the background with full spectrum, and I've also got the night vision camera as well. So I've always got two cameras when we're doing the EVP, and then obviously we'll then go back and look and see if I've caught anything out with the table where we're doing it.
What EVP do you use?
Just a voice recorder, and obviously the spirit box. That's just the standard one that we use. I've not got one of the fancy ones that are £2,000. You know, I would like to sort of save up for one of them, because they're the best.
Oh, man.
They're far superior, mate. They're really good.
I suppose it's not the Panasonic in it.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Oh, no,
bad, yeah.
Bad. Oh, do you want to know something?
Yeah.
This is truthful from me to you. This is my, I don't know what to say, but basically Panasonic, I'm not saying this is what people are recording, I'm just stating a fact. So it's up to you if you take it or not. Yeah. Panasonic recalled the DR60. I guess that's the one you're talking about, the Panasonic IC recorder. And they recalled it because customers was complaining that they was hearing strange voices.
That's correct, yeah.
And Panasonic took it back, and they come to the conclusion that they think it was recording its own mechanism. So for me personally, I would not use that recorder, but that's only because I've seen that fact and that's playing on my mind. So you knowing that now, would you still be willing to try it or not?
Yeah, well, the thing is, when I'm doing EVP, I ask questions that need intelligence answers. Like, for instance, I would say, can the spirits tell me what I'm holding? And if it came up and says can, I need intelligent answers, not just random. So therefore, some that it's got to be intelligent answers with EVP, or else I don't rule it as sort of paranormal. It has to be like interesting.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, like, I've actually seen them EVP recorders with public events, and I don't think everyone's aware of it. I think the problem is that they see it on other people's shows and they take notice of what it actually is, and then they go, "Oh, I want to find that." So they go searching for it on the internet. £2,000, You can find it cheaper. You can find
Oh
it
yeah, you can. Yeah.
£300. So please don't buy that at 2,000 because I'm gonna feel sad.
No, the one I've got is £40 that I use. I've been using for many years, so you know, and it does the job as well.
Yeah.
It's all about the intelligent answers you get with it.
So let's talk about Frank's boxes. What is a Frank's box?
Well, Spirit Box it uses radio frequencies, and it sort of goes through them very fast. And obviously, you can get radio fragments, and you can hear them coming through. Like for instance, buy a sofa at £299. You know that's radio frequency, but what you can notice is the intelligent responses. It's different. You can hear the voice pattern coming through. And if you've got to, the important thing with Spirit Box is you've got to ask a question that's got to be an intelligent answer replayed back. And then when you get something intelligent back, then you know it's like, well, what's the chances of that being on a radio station? Because that's what you're using. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's take this for example. When you was watching the introduction, there was a person at the end of the introduction video, and he says, "Can you say the name of the person who hosts this show?" And it sounds like it says Lee. So, what's your take on that personally?
Personally speaking, to me that wouldn't qualify as good enough because Lee still is a, you know, I wasn't there. The way I would see it's like, for instance, I would need to see with my eyes, because how do I know that he wasn't sitting there with another tape recorder saying Lee? I would have to see it with my eyes.
Yeah.
You know, if I was sitting in the room, that would be different.
Yeah. Well, even we streamed that live, and that happened live on the show. But I still walked away a skeptic because, to me it just went E. It didn't say my name. It just said something what sounded like my name, and it's natural for people to sometimes make sense of something which they can't understand. So with a Frank's box, I think
it's got to be clear.
Yeah, like there'll be a lot of people who say it's swearing, it's saying F off and stuff like that, and it's like, I do not hear that.
Yeah,
is that being said?
Yeah. It's got to be clear information that everybody can pick up. If, like, for instance, if there's 3 folk and we get an EVP through and we quite like it, but if there's 2 of us hearing different things, I don't even put it on evidence. It's got to be clear and it's got to be precise, intelligent responses to get through.
Yeah. So what would it take for you to say a place has got an haunting or activity? What would it take?
Oh, that's a good question. I would take up to I would hopefully do it over 6 hours, and I would need to get some intelligent responses, i.e. the Spirit Box. I also like calling out for knocks as well. Obviously, knocks can be stingray, but if I can get a few like instant knocks as well, and if there's people in the team that have been, like for instance, touched or whatever, because the people I work with, I trust, because there's only 4 of us, and so that sort of goes towards. I've obviously got a sort of a sensitive there as well that picks up on things. Cool. So he's there that picks up on things.
Yep. So, talk us through an investigation from start to finish. What happens? Do people contact you?
I generally do the contacting, and I ask, can I hire your place out for it to do a paranormal investigation? We'll come at a price, we'll hire it out, we'll go down, we'll set up, we'll get all our cameras set up, spend up a good hour setting up, and then we'll sort of figure out what way we're going to do this with vigils. We'll start off here, we'll do this, then we'll do that. If things changes, obviously we can change it about, but we'll go through a pattern of what way we're going to investigate. That'll be a standard night for us. Yeah, and we've got our gadgets and that as well.
So what's your best piece of equipment other than the Frank's box?
For me personally speaking, I like the full spectrum camera.
So why is that?
The camcorder. Yeah, just because I've got a few sort of photos that are very interesting. Obviously, with any picture you can't say it's paranormal because of this day and age with photo editing. But obviously, because it's me who's taking it, then I know that it's real. And if with the full spectrum, obviously you're pulling in light that our eyes can't see, so I feel that increases the chance of you possibly picking up a spirit manifestation.
Cool.
That's the new route that I'm going down to try and catch.
Nice one. We've got a question from Cheryl. And her question is, out of all the cool places that you have investigated in Scotland, where has been the most scariest place you have been, and what happened to make it scary or spooky?
Most scariest?
Yeah.
Let me think. It would probably be Menzies Castle up in Perthshire. It's like an old castle. It's it's good. So I was up there, and I was up with them. It was one of my friends at the time. It was just the two of us, and we were in the chief's bedroom. So it's one of these big four-poster, 500-year-old beds. So I'm sitting on it, okay, and then I'm asking us, like, if there's anybody here, if you would like me to go off the bed, could you make a knocking noise? And then the top of the bed, because it's one of the four posters with the wood, I get click, right? So I then stand up, okay, and I'm like, okay, that's an intelligent response. Is that, well, if you'd like me to leave the room, could you make that noise again? And I got click in the middle of the bed frame as well off the woods. So that's down as personal good experience. So I went up and sort of respected and left the room. But the knocks were within 2 seconds of me saying the question. So it wasn't there was any length of time. It was like, you know, that's a creepy location. Yeah. I've had obviously my most creepy experience would have been when I investigated Bran Castle in Romania in April, Dracula's castle, and that was a creepy one. If you want me to tell you, yeah.
Yeah.
We're in the chapel, and there was obviously it was a public event, so there was a couple of mediums there, and they were doing a séance sort of around the circle. So I was sitting on the tomb, which is a big stone tomb, and made 4 of the little ball trigger objects. So if they move, sort of it starts flashing lights. So we had 4 of them sat around me. So I'm sitting there still, and then obviously a couple of mediums said they seen a dark shadow sort of moving around the circle. Obviously I don't see anything. Then next minute one of the mediums screams, and then the lights all start going off, and I get a sharp pain in my side. So I then stand up off the tomb, and one of the mediums at the time said that they seen some black flying into my side. At the same time I got a sharp pain in my kidneys. So that was interesting. I didn't sit back down the tomb after it.
Sounds good. Another question from the lunatic, and she is saying, do you think ghosts will ever be 100% proven or accepted as normal?
Oh, I think they will be. I think we're a while off from it, but yeah, for all the technology we've got, it's proven it as another. I mean, I know there's spirits, but I can't prove it. You know, it's that's a good question. I think if I had to guess, I would say at least another 50 years at least. That's just my guess on it. The tech's not there.
Do you want to know what I think about it?
Yeah.
What I think about if ghosts will ever be proven. As a skeptic, that question is impossible to answer, because science is always evolving, it's always changing, and once we think we know something, further down the line we find out that it was wrong and it's been disproven. So in my opinion, I don't think we will ever find out, but that's my own personal opinion. I hope to be proven wrong.
Yeah, you could be right as well, because I do agree with that point as well. It's the technology moves, and then we don't have anything even today that's close to sort of saying, yeah, this is paranormal. Because your thing with the pictures, any picture or video can be photoshopped now. So unless you're the person taking it, you're the only person that knows it's real. Anybody else could say, that's been photoshopped, or it's pareidolia. It's such where you're seeing shapes and you're thinking it's sort of a face.
That's the issue. I will never trust a picture. The only way I will trust a picture is if I know the person who has taken it. So if I know the person to be a credible figure, then I would more than likely trust that he's not faked it or she's not faked it. But I would not believe it was a spirit. I would just probably come up with some stupid answer, knowing me.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Spot on, Lee. I'm the same. Yeah, if it was somebody that I knew, investigate, and they put it up, then I would trust. Yeah, that's fine. But if it was just say it was somebody I've never known and they put this photo up and it was really good, I can't go and say that's paranormal, because things are so easy to fake today.
Exactly. So someone's talking about EVP recorders, and I think they've misunderstood what I said. He's saying that it's good to use EVP recorders. Yeah, I totally agree. It is good to use EVP recorders, but I don't like that specific EVP recorder what David was talking about. But I do like it. I do like EVP in general. You know, I think if the right guidelines are put in place, like a checklist of some sort, where you know everyone who's present, what environmental interferences might occur. Have more than one EVP recorder. So, for example, if you just buy the same EVP recorder twice and put it in the exact same spot and get a camera watching it and record it, because my argument is that it should be on both of them. But if it's not, then actually that would be interesting as well, because why didn't that other EVP recorder capture it? What do you make of that method?
Yeah, that's a good method. It's I use two. I'll use a spirit box and an EV recorder as well. So I always use two forms. The same with taking pictures. If MD's listening, always take 3 or 4 instant pictures straight after each other. So if you catch anything, you maybe see it in the second, or it won't be there in the second picture. If you just take one, you know, it's always take 2, 3, 4 photos in a line if you're on investigations. But yeah, always use 2 forms of proving it. It makes it more plausible.
Yeah, exactly. So what's your worst type of picture?
Worst type of picture?
Yeah. Well, what gets sent to you and you think, oh God.
I've been sent photos where it's an alien. I was like, okay. I can obviously see that's a blow up alien. You know, and some of the ones you can see straight off that they're fake, because you've got the ghost apps. I don't know if you've seen them.
Yes,
you know,
I have. Yeah.
Ghost stuck there, and it's like, well, a spirit doesn't manifest like that. You know, it's you can tell them straight off the barrel that they're faked. Some of the other ones are interesting, but
so. What teams out there would you say capture credible evidence of what you've seen?
What teams?
Or people?
Yeah, I mean, the people that I sort of follow is just general people on the Facebook. I always sort of look over their evidence, and even I mean, I'm still sort of been doing this sort of 15 years, and I'm still learning. I try to learn off everybody that I've investigated with. And I've been lucky enough to investigate a few good people, and I like to sort of pick up what they're doing and sort of learning from them. Yeah,
I think that's a good thing. We are always learning. Including myself. The main reason I do these shows is to share experiences, is to share knowledge, and to try to educate everyone watching, including me and including you. You know, I think we've all got space to learn something, and hopefully the aim of this show is to make everyone a better investigator. I want people to question everything, because that way you will be left with something possibly paranormal, like you said it a bit ago. If you need to question everything, because that way you can actually come to your own conclusion that this is a ghost.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's true. I mean, I think some folks sort of, they watch the TV shows and they think that's how an investigation goes. But I can tell you, I've sat there 8 hours and get absolutely nothing in a place that's obviously very haunted. It's the paranormal, it works when it wants to work. And even the evidence you pick up, you know, it's not like the ghost shows that you watch. I think they misinterpret it. They've got all this evidence. I think they do it over 4 or 5 days, whereas we're doing it over 6, 7 hours.
Yeah, like when we do investigations, it's normally around same time as yourselves, and we capture nothing. Like 98% of the time, we get nothing of what I would class as paranormal. But for other people, it might vary. But for myself, nothing ever happens. So it just confuses me with these TV shows, because they seem to get evidence every time, I'm not saying that they're faking it, but
yeah, I've never done
seems
that.
a bit fishy. It seems fishy.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, because like myself, from all the investigations I've been on, it's like even the things that I can say that's for me is 100% paranormal. I mean, it's not a lot over the space of 15 years. I mean, many times I go to events and I'll fire out places and I get nothing that I can say, yeah, that's paranormal. I can't debunk that. As you know, it's really about perseverance. If you're going to investigate, that's what you have to have, patience. That's the number one tool, I think, investigating.
I agree. Patience. This is what I always say to people who pay to go on ghost hunts. I always say, expect the least, so you're not disappointed. And that's what I always do. So when I go to an investigation, I expect absolutely nothing to happen. I am just happy to be there to experience the history and to investigate, you know. And if something happens, it's a bonus. What do you make?
Yeah, that's the way we do it as well. It's sort of go there, I enjoy the history of the old buildings as well. So I get the enjoyment for that side as well. Investigating some place that's sort of 900 years old or whatever. I like to sort of find out about the history, read up about it, and then if something happens, that's great. But if it doesn't, then I just say, well, we'll go back to it. If I think there's nothing there, then I obviously won't go back. But if I like the place, I say, right, we'll need to go back, because you could be going back 2, 3, 4 times until you sort of get something that you find credible, evidence-wise.
Yeah, talking along them lines, actually. I've been to investigations before where I've been to this specific location 3 times and nothing happened on all them 3 times. But we went on the 4th time and all activity just seemed to go mental. So my next question is, do you have to be there at the right time, at the right place, at the right location?
Yes, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it's a lot of it's down to luck. It's definitely it's sort of like Ian, who's in our team, who's he studies the demonology. He's sort of a bit of a sensitive, and he gets a lot of sort of activity. He can generate a bit of activity up. I think certain people can, like you said, we sort of talked over, sort of can generate more activity than others. Whereas I'm not closed off, but I generally see nothing. You know, that's why I use my gadgets and I'm asking questions out. You know, where others have been in events and they've said, "Oh, I've seen this, I've seen that." I've seen nothing. I didn't see anything. So yeah,
fair enough.
Yep,
we've got another question from Story Night, and the question is, where would you like to investigate if they could go anywhere? So where would you like to go if you could go anywhere?
Oh, it would definitely be over at USA, and it would be Sally's house. I'd like to go over there. There's numerous places, Gettysburg, yeah, Waverley as well. Yeah, there's so many over there.
So what is that venue? What makes you want to go to Sally's house?
Yeah, just because of the reports of the demonic spirit side over there, and it's from what I've heard, it's still active. And although the guy's moved away from the house, if people are going over investigating, he's still getting affected. It would just be something myself to go and investigate to see if what would happen.
Yeah. Are you familiar with the ancient Ram in Gloucestershire?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Have you ever been?
I've not been. No.
What's your take on that then? Like with incubus or succubus, do they exist?
Yeah. Well, I think with incubus and succubus, I think that the large proportion of it is actually sleep paralysis, and people are not knowing what sleep paralysis is. I don't know if you know what it is yourself.
I think I do. Is it where you are kind of having a lucid dream, but you are awake? And yeah, I get so many emails.
Old tag syndrome, it's called.
Yeah. I've had loads of emails with the same symptoms where people are laid in bed at night and they open their eyes and then they see a strange figure walking towards them. They are paralyzed. And they close their eyes, they open their eyes, and then they can move again. But I've had a lot of people say what they think about that, and someone said something which was pretty interesting. And someone said it's your own spirit walking back to yourself. What do you make of that?
Oh, I think that's sort of like astral projection type thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's. I mean, I've read up a little bit about astral projections. I like sort of reading up on a lot of things sort of paranormal. I've never done it personally, but I mean, I suppose like anything, if you sort of meditate and train and stuff like that, I think when they're waking up and they can't move, is them just coming out of REM sleep, and their brain's not telling their muscles to move, and then you're seeing something that's sort of I think that's just hallucination. Obviously, there's that 5% of cases that, well, I can't debunk. It's possible, but I think for the majority, it's medical.
Yeah. Let's talk about electromagnetic fields. Would you use a K2 meter? Do you like them?
I don't personally like them. I mean, I will take one on just to sort of put on the table, but that's another one that I'll use as a tool. It's not a main tool, because like everything else, you mean, you go over to a little wire and it'll go off. Phones can set it off.
Exactly. Yeah. The only reason I would use a K2 for my own personal investigation tactics, and that would be to try to eliminate activity. So, for example, if someone's laid down on their bed and they've got a Wi-Fi signal, what's bang next to their bedside, and if that's kicking off like a 10-point reading, then for me, that explains why they are seeing spirits, because they are hallucinating. So, what do you make of that?
Oh yeah, that's one of the reasons we also have at the table. Especially if you're on public events, you ask everybody to switch their phones off and that, because also as well, when you go down, if you're like having a place out, you need to go around and check, because obviously if you've got a high field, it can make you hallucinate and feel sick as well. So if you haven't done that and you're going down and you're seeing things, I'm feeling sick, that's paranormal. But what you should be doing is checking to make sure that it's not that high field, because that does make you hallucinate and feel sick. That's scientific.
And it makes you feel touched as well, which is pretty cool. Yeah. So another question from Matt. He's from PI, which is Paranormal Investigation Equipment website store, and he's asking, have you ever caught any EVPs in reverse? So he's saying, have you recorded an EVP and reversed it and found something?
That's something I've not actually done. No, I can't say that I have.
I'm in the exact same situation. Like, Matt came on the show a week ago actually, and he put that suggestion out there. I think it's one what we should try and do more. But yet again, would I believe that's a spirit? Probably not. But I think it is something what people need to think about. But my question to Matt in the chat is, why would you play it back in reverse? So if you like to answer that, Matt, I'd be very grateful. So why would you say, like, can you think of a reason why you'd play it in reverse?
For me, for the amount of hours it takes to actually listen to an EVP properly, like slow everything down and really listen to it, the amount of concentration you need to put into listen to it, from going the right way around to do it reverse. I think that would be very difficult. And if anybody can do that, then kudos to them. But it's not something that I would go down the lines sort of doing.
Another question then.
Do some sort of investigate on and see what findings they get. It's definitely of interest.
Oh yeah, I think it's definitely worth doing. Another question. Do you believe that only places that had bad experiences or fatalities are haunted, or can any place be haunted?
Any place can be haunted. I've been to investigate many places where there's not been any sort of like somebody's died in a drastic way, or it's just, if some people go back to places they like, for instance, like old theatres. Maybe they had a lot of sort of time there, and they went to a lot of shows. So it's not always the case. For instance, the investigated Old Crown in Birmingham, a lot of the spirits are there because they love that pub. And I've done one in Glasgow a couple of nights ago. It was the old Panopticon Theatre, and it's the oldest theatre. Is it in Scotland? I think it might well be. And there's still spirits there because they like the theatre. So
Have you ever been to a location where you have actually been so scared where you've had to leave?
No, I've got zero fear of sort of paranormal. I've got no fear at all.
Cool stuff. I've actually not been in that situation.
Yeah,
I've always been calm, cool, and collected. Because if I see something or if I hear something, I see a lot of people and they tend to go away from the activity when something happens, and I'm like, wait up, we've come to investigate this.
Yeah.
Let's go over there and check it out to see what's caused it.
Yep, spot on. It's like, for instance, if I still myself go and I'll pay on like sort of public events if it's a place that I want to go, and I'll say to whoever's running it, I'll say, can I just pop off myself, and I will go off myself and investigate myself away from the groups. So yeah, no fear from the paranormal, nothing to fear there.
So what's your view on the Ouija boards then? Do they actually contact ghosts?
Oh well, the Ouija boards, just from my personal experience from that one, then I say that works because it was questions that only I could know. But the problem is I don't use Ouija boards because you've got 4 hands on the board, and you need to, and they can move it. That's the only thing. You can't use it as evidence unless you've got the 4 people around you that you know and trust, because it all comes down to trust with a Ouija board.
Exactly. What do you make of the subconscious mind? Do you believe that could play a factor?
Yes, yeah. Some people are more easily led. Yeah.
So how would that work out? Like, can you give me a scenario?
Yeah, well, like for instance, I've noticed if somebody goes, "Oh, did you see that shadow move over there in the corner?" Now I'm looking at the corner and there's nothing moved, and then somebody will say, "I did see that," and then it starts from there. Then everybody else sort of joins in, and some people are more easily led because they'll just jump to paranormal straight away. You know, it just depends on the person.
Would you say that the Ouija board is a dangerous tool?
Oh, I think when you're using the Ouija board, it should only be used by people that sort of can open up and close it and cleanse it. I would not advise any of the public to use it. Yeah. I would never use it, because the Ouija board is just that. It's actually called a spirit talking board. It's, you know, the Ouija was just the name of the company, but no, I would never advise anybody to dabble with it without actually like knowing like how to sort of close it and cleanse it.
This is my problem with the Ouija board. My problem is that everyone can make one. So all you need is basically a piece of paper and a pen. So if that's the case, then everyone has the potential to actually make something pretty dangerous. Would you say that's possible? Would you say that's true?
It's not something that I've totally dived into, but from the fact, just as from my beliefs, the Ouija boards can open up sort of spirit to come through. I personally think it's possible, and that's why I would never say anybody to do it unless, you know, somebody was there that would know how to open and shut it.
Fair dues, I respect that. And another thing on the Ouija board actually, which kind of confuses me. For example, if I'm using a K2 meter and I am using the lights on the K2 meter as yes, no answers. So for example, the second red light on the K2 meter means yes. The third red light on the K2 meter means no. So if I'm talking to something similar to an Ouija board, if I'm getting direct responses as an Ouija board would do, for example, you could ask, are you 10? And it would go no. Or are you here? It would go yeah. Are you from this town? It would go yeah. So would you say that's got the same principle of being dangerous?
It's a good question, but the only reason I would say that is just from sort of like learning them. You've never heard them they sort of like having any problems doing K2 sort of questions. The only problems that you ever hear from people is from doing sort of the Ouija board.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's that, you know, you got me kind of stumped there. But I don't use the board because it's for that. It just there's too many people that could manipulate it, so it's not something that I personally.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I would use one because I don't believe in them. I want to experience something, so I will use it to experience something, and I'm happy accepting that. But for me to 100% believe in a Ouija board, I would like no one touching it, not even myself, because I won't trust myself, and I mean that. You know, if I'm in the wrong mindset, or if I've had not much sleep, if I've eaten something what's been a bit funny, it can affect you. It can actually make you do things which you don't want to do. So yeah, I would not trust myself.
There has been a study done in America that's sort of proven that you can move it subconsciously. So that study has been done.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You've got to to it as well for the skeptical side. I mean, there is a study that's been done that says the Ouija board, them that use the Ouija board, is subconsciously moving it.
Would you believe me if I told you I started this field as a believer?
Is that right? Yeah. Yeah.
I actually did. I started as a 100% believer in ghosts, and now I don't know. I'm just questioning everything. I just think, is it really? You know, I've got a lot of questions on my mind, and in investigating for as long as what I have been doing, 10 years just over. I've slowly started to learn more things, and I've slowly started to get more questions. So my belief system has changed from start to now. So my next question is, as yours?
Well, mine's is obviously from the start. I was sort of, after going to the public event, was a believer, and it stayed true to that form, just simply because of the experiences that I've had, which is personal experiences. I've seen a shadow dart across the room. This was in a cellar. There was no light sources to cause a shadow. From being touched, sort of when I was over in Castle, my wife has been touched 3 times during investigations. So, and you know, obviously I believe my wife; she's not going to lie. So, personally, my next one is I've always said, if there's any spirit, would you come over and touch me? But you know, they won't come over and touch me. So that's the next thing, you know, that has to happen. But
yeah, for me too, I'm an open-minded skeptic. I am still got that percentage there to change my mind, believe it or not. And this is how I would be convinced. I would need to see something. I would need to have a camera watching it. So hence I need to see it, and the camera needs to see it. So that backs up what I'm seeing. And also I would need some environmental changes, like temperature reading, an electromagnetic field reading, or something like that. If something like that was to happen, then if there was no camera there, I would be saying that was me. That was me hallucinating, because I'm in a supposed haunted location. It's creepy at night. It's just the right setting for me to trick my mind. But if there's a camera there, and if it captures what I see, whether it be a full-blown apparition, yeah, if it was to capture it, I would believe it. But 11 years down the line, just about, and nope, I've never seen it.
yeah, I've seen 1 in 15 years. So yeah, that just shows you how rare it actually is. You know, but like you'll be like me when you go on to sort of haunted locations. Your mind's not going to be racing, because when I go in, my heart rate's the same, because I just treat it like any other place. I think when people go there, they've got the fear and, you know, the aura of the place, and then they start to see things. I think if you're going to go to an event, just go in there with an open mind. You've got to keep calm.
Yeah.
You know, else your mind starts to play tricks.
Yeah.
If you go in there calm, you know, you'll be fine.
So here's a question then. For people paying to go on public investigations, would you say that they are more suggestible to seeing spirits?
Yes, I would think so, just because you're in a group factor as well. You've got the peer pressure. If somebody sees something, then you maybe get 2 other people then following on, because, you know, I've been there and sort of folk have said they've seen something. I've been looking in that direction, the same direction as them, and I've not seen anything. So I do think some people just go on it for like for instance, like to get a scare type thing, and oh, I seen something.
A fear factor type thing. Yeah, I totally respect that, and I think the same thing. The community has changed a damn lot since the 1970s. From the 1970s, it was leading scientists who actually went out to investigate post-haunted locations. Now, it's just your typical next-door neighbour going out with a K2 meter, a camcorder, and I don't like the word experts, but people claim they are experts.
Yeah.
And I just kind of think it's not research. No, well, it is research, but it's more of a night out. It's more of a, oh, let's get some friends together and let's go out ghost hunting. It's instead of going out drinking.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, you're totally right. 'Cause back in the day, it was all scientists that done it, and obviously you don't get many sort of scientific done anymore on the paranormal as much. But yeah, you've got a lot more like folk, just like myself. Now that's how I started off, just going out myself and investigating. But what I've been like a sponge, and I've like learned from sort of like people that I've respected, and then took that onto my investigations. The most important thing is you've got to look at it from a scientific point of view, you know.
Yeah. So how can people find you, David?
Find me. I've got Twitter, Facebook, and we just put a web page up a couple of days ago. So the group's actually only been going about 4 months, so we're just sort of new to it. And if anybody sort of looks for us, just type in Knights Templar Paranormal Order, and we'll pop up.
Nice one. So I think I'm ready to call it a night. I hope I've been good towards you as a skeptic.
Oh yeah, it's been a pleasure talking with you. Yeah, so it's good to sort of put a face to the name as such.
Yeah, I always try my best to try and keep things on equal ground. So I don't like, I don't like to hurt people's feelings, and I respect everyone's opinion. I think that's what we all should do.
Yeah.
So, again, thank you for watching on paranormalmagazine.com, projectreveal.com, paranormaldatabase.com, Get Scared TV, VZone, Broadband TV. Thank you for watching, and I'm going to say thank you to David yet again. Thank you for coming on the show.
Seriously, it's been a pleasure.
No problem. And everybody, I will be back in 2 hours where I'm getting interviewed. You've got to watch it.
Oh, but I've got a couple of questions for you, don't worry.
Nice one. See you later all. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.